You've always wondered why you sometimes feel so brainwashed and don't even realize it. Here are the darkest psychological tricks to become immune to brainwashing. Many people today are so deeply brainwashed that they seem completely detached from reality. They believe things that are clearly false, defend actions that are indefensible, and reject even the most obvious truths. But how does someone reach such a state? What exactly is brainwashing, and how does it transform people so drastically? Brainwashing isn't just some idea from dystopian movies. It's one of the most powerful and dangerous psychological tools ever used. And the scariest part? No one is entirely immune. One of the most chilling real-world examples is the Jonestown Massacre of 1978, where over 900 people, including children, lost their lives after being ordered to drink cyanide-laced punch by cult leader Jim Jones. These weren't people who woke up one morning and blindly followed a madman. They were carefully conditioned, step by step, until their critical thinking completely collapsed. They truly believed they were acting of their own free will. That's the terrifying power of brainwashing. It doesn't force you to change. It makes you want to change. So how does this happen? It follows a clear process. Isolation, destabilization, indoctrination, and reinforcement. A psychological journey that once begun feels almost impossible to escape. The first stage is isolation. When you control the information someone receives, you control their perception of reality. Jim Jones did this by relocating his followers to a remote jungle compound in Guyana, cutting them off from the outside world. In everyday life, you see similar tactics through media echo chambers, extremist groups, and even toxic relationships, where only one version of truth is constantly reinforced. The more isolated someone's information source, the less they question it. Next comes destabilization. This is about breaking down mental defenses, using exhaustion, fear, and confusion. Cults often use long, draining sermons, unpredictable punishments, and emotional roller coasters. Governments and media sometimes flood people with endless crises, making them feel the world is too chaotic to understand without help. The more mentally exhausted someone becomes, the more they lean on the manipulator to make sense of reality. The third phase is indoctrination. This is where new beliefs are planted, using cycles of reward and punishment. Conformity brings praise, questioning brings rejection. In cults, doubting the leader means exile. In everyday society, questioning dominant ideologies can get you shunned or attacked. Over time, the brain gets reprogrammed until the new belief system feels completely natural, even though it was forced. Finally, there's reinforcement. Once the new identity is in place, it's maintained through rituals, group loyalty, and emotional triggers. At this point, people no longer question because their new beliefs are tied to their very sense of self. They don't feel brainwashed, they feel enlightened. And that's the darkest part. Brainwashing never feels like brainwashing while it's happening. It feels like discovering the truth. This is why people stay in abusive groups, fall for mass manipulation, and follow extreme ideologies without a second thought. So how do you protect yourself? First, stay aware. Brainwashing works by making you feel like questioning is unnecessary or even dangerous. The moment you feel pressured not to question something, that's your first warning sign. Second, seek out multiple perspectives. If you only hear one side of a story, you're being manipulated, whether you realize it or not. Third, watch how your emotions are being used. Fear, guilt, outrage. These are the tools used to bypass your logic and shape your beliefs. Whenever you notice your emotions being pulled, ask yourself, who benefits from me thinking this way? Because once your mind is rewritten, you might not even realize it happened.